Congress is set to return to work next week, and lawmakers are facing growing pressure to reach some sort of deal when it comes to border security, Ukraine aid, all to avoid a partial government shutdown, as some agencies are set to lose funding later on this month. Let's bring in Congresswoman Cammack, Republican from Florida. Congresswoman, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Happy New Year. And just to weigh in, it's Reese's.
Reese's?
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Okay,
Reese's
interview
Pieces.
over. We're done here. Okay, thank you. I was going to get your take on the very, very end. Thank you for leading with that, though. We needed a moment of levity. Okay, back to the point at hand. What is the likelihood, Congresswoman, that some sort of deal can be reached on border security, Ukraine aid that can clear both the Senate and the House? And realistically to you, what'll that end up looking like?
Well, it's been a long couple of weeks with discussions with the Speaker's office, my colleagues, and with such a narrow margin, of course, we're having to factor in a lot of different dynamics and personalities, which, of course, we know Congress is not short on. So when you think about what we're looking at, you have aid for Israel, Taiwan, and Ukraine that they're trying to put in with a border package. For me and so many of my colleagues in the Republican House, we see the border package as non-negotiable. It has to be a border security package first and foremost before we look abroad or overseas, because if we do not secure this border, we're staring down the barrel of the worst humanitarian, public health, and national security crisis in modern history. This is unsustainable. And every town in America today is a border town as a result of the open border policies. So that is going to be the #1 leverage point that we have in the House. No border package means no package for anything else.
Yeah, I know a lot of lawmakers agree with you. A lot of voters agree with you, saying, how are we not taking care of our own before we take care of others? But I will say some Republicans have become openly critical of Speaker Mike Johnson for pushing this spending fight into the new year. How far is he willing to go to hold the line on conservatives' demands? And is there any point where conditions in Ukraine do deteriorate so badly that he'll have to make some concessions here?
Well, so many of the things that we have asked for with regard to Ukraine, such as oversight, accountability, really understanding the mission plan. What is the war termination plan? When I was at the Naval War College, that was the #1 thing that we were taught, a war termination plan. What is your exit strategy? There doesn't seem to be one in place. And so a lot of people rightfully are skeptical of why we're pumping billions of dollars into a war overseas when we have real problems here at home, rising inflation, impossible to get a mortgage if you're a millennial like me. You've got seniors on fixed incomes who can't afford basic goods and services, a crime wave that has gripped the country, an open border crisis, and an opioid epidemic that is poisoning hundreds of thousands of people. We have a lot of domestic issues that Americans want us to focus on first before we look abroad. And so I think that we can get all those things done. We just have to put the political agenda to the side. We have to put the personalities aside and focus on what is best for America and putting America first.
And Congressman, as you know, Speaker Mike Johnson will be visiting Eagle Pass, Texas tomorrow, along with a handful of other Republican lawmakers. It'll be a new delegation going to the border. I know you'll be watching that visit closely. What are you hoping comes from that trip, and what has to come from that trip in order for change to come to fruition?
Well, in my experience, it's very important that we keep the narrative on the border, because there's very little that is being done to cover the atrocities that are taking place there. I've been to the border myself 9 times, and you see firsthand the trafficking of children, the recycling of children, the abuses of women. You see horrific things. And so it's important to, one, shine a spotlight on it. But one of the things that I've always encouraged my colleagues, Republicans and Democrats, is go to the border, but work a shift overnight with the aid. One of the things that I have done is work those shifts overnight in various sectors with those agents, and you see some of the most horrific things that stay with you for the rest of your life. And so we have to continue to really understand what those agents are going through, understand the policies that they are not allowed to enforce, the laws that are currently on the books. But we also have to understand that there is a massive issue, not just with the flow of people, but 151 different nationalities being seen. We can't just randomly fly people back. We have to really focus on fixing this broken immigration system that is in place today.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.